Push the cart!
Sniper is admittedly a very straightforward class. You point and you click. It's fairly linear to where most matches where you play a sniper slightly tend to blend in with one another and look the same. But, like my 2009 Chevy Impala, there's a little more under the hood. For example, one of the most common mistakes new snipers make is where they place their cursor while scoped in. All sniper rifles have this little dot that shows exactly where you're aiming. Most smart players will see this dot and will try to go a different way to avoid being shot. You can try hiding your cursor elsewhere or just stay unscoped and scoped in when you see your target. Sniper's worst enemy. They're most vulnerable while scoped in. Their movement and vision is severely limited, and a personal general rule of thumb I have is not to be scoped in for longer than 10 seconds. If someone doesn't walk into your sightline after 10 full seconds, you probably need to reposition to a better spot anyways. Although this sounds like a basic and common idea, I'm quite surprised by how few sniper players actually do it. Killing someone shows exactly where you are, and in some maps where sniper spots are few, they'll probably already have a general idea of where you are. Reposition often to throw them off and make them search for you again while you scope in. Repositioning is also extremely effective against other snipers. If you come face to face against a sniper and doubt you can snipe him back, feel free to move to a better spot where he isn't expecting it, or even go a step further and pretend to leave and come back as he searches for a new target. It's a bit more elegant and sure-proof than second scoping. Corners are your friend. If you ever start getting chased by an enemy you don't think you can deal with, such as a scout, try to run to a corner. Aside from giving you cover, it gives you the advantage of being able to scope in and headshot them if they continue to push you. If you can't headshot people close range, you can still bait people around corners and switch to your melee to hit them and finish them off. This strategy works amazingly with Girardi, as enemies will either retreat or be killed by a bushwhacker crit. You should try to have your back pressed up against the wall a majority of the time while scoping in. This doesn't prevent you from being backstabbed entirely, since your back technically counts as a full 180, however it does make it slightly harder for you to backstab. Anything to get rid of the fucking French. Be careful if your back is up against the wall if fighting a soldier or demo, however. The splash damage will hit you and throw your aim off due to flinching. It's best to quickly unscope, take a few steps forward, and then scope back in and deal with him. Another thing you can do to bypass being backstabbed is placing yourself near an engineer's nest. Sentries not only help against other classes that can rush you down like Scout, but the engineer can save you occasionally from the spy as well. In return, you take care of enemies that can harass the sentry outside of its range. Truly a beautiful symbiotic relationship only found in nature. Believe it or not, the Crusader's crossbow isn't just good because it can heal teammates from afar, but also because it can hurt enemies from afar too. The damage on this thing scales the further it flies, and if it's aimed right towards you, the 80 damage won't hurt as much as the shame of being outsniped by the squishiest class. The same thing can be said with any fast-firing projectiles like arrows or baseballs. Take a split second from being scoped in to unscope and dodge the projectile. Scouts with their high mobility can be quite challenging to hit, especially if they're jumping around. You can either simply fully charge a body shot, or wait for them to double jump. As they double jump, their path is directly locked into place, meaning if you can see the arc, you can place your crosshair there and shoot them. Same thing can be said of rocket jumping soldiers. Visualize where they'll be at the apex of their path, and shoot. It takes a bit of practice, but you eventually get the hang of it. If you're ever caught in the unfortunate position of being directly beside an enemy and need to make a quick escape to back up, damage surfing may usually be the only way out. By definition, damage surfing is using the enemy's own knockback against you to your own advantage by crouch jumping and using the A and D keys to steer yourself. This is a technique most commonly used with rockets, although I found some success with using it against heavies too. Simply spam jump and the knockback from the minigun will push you further away. Just be very careful with it. Arrows are weird, to put it bluntly. They have an arc. The animation of the bow being fully pulled back doesn't line up with the actual charge meter. It's proven to be inferior to a sniper rifle. I've ran the numbers, I have scientists on this, just trust my word. But if you still insist on using a bow, do not aim where your crosshair is located. I know this sounds like I'm really committing to the sniper bit by giving backwards and upside down logic straight from Australia, but trust me. Arrows spawn on the lower right corner of your crosshair and not directly on it. As a result, if you aim roughly here, you're more likely to get headshots with the bow, as that's where the arrow actually lands and goes. Despite the T in TF2 standing for team, teammates are generally an annoyance to most snipers. Although the sniper rifle bullets are unique in the fact that they can pass through friendly hitboxes and hit people on the other side, it's extremely unreliable. Also keep in mind that teammates will slightly nudge you while passing you by, throwing off your aim just slightly enough to miss your target. In more condensed spots like Dust Bowl, this can become extremely annoying. You could call a vote kick on them to solve the issue, which is pretty petty, or you could be the bigger person and just go to a different spot and not warn them of spies. You may know how to shoot, but how do you know who to shoot? The priority of killing folks is the following: medics, snipers, engineers, heavy, soldier and demos, and then there's the three I guess classes being spy, scout, and pyro. Medics are self-explanatory, they heal and uber charge as a game changer, take them out quick. Sniper is the only class that can reliably deal with another sniper, destroy what you've become. Engineers are capable of locking down areas or providing support. Get them before they can set up or repair their property if you want to destroy it. Heavy has a lot of health, and guess who does a lot of damage? Soldier and demo are generalist classes that are always a problem and threat to your team. Pyro is short range and will usually get killed by other classes if they aren't playing smart. Same thing can be said of Scout. Spy, on the other hand, will usually be invisible, and unless you're lucky, you won't be seeing much of him till he shows up behind you or a teammate. Although you aren't designed to deal with them, snipers can deal effective damage against buildings. In fact, a fully charged shot will take care of any level 1 buildings, making it perfect for taking out dispensers, teleporters, or sentries that are being set up. And on level 3s, it still deals a little more than half their HP. I wouldn't prioritize dealing with buildings, but if you have a fully charged shot and see nobody in sight, it's better to shoot a building than nothing at all. Although paying attention to your visual surroundings is extremely important as sniper, paying attention to audio is just as important too. Spies make a noise upon decloaking, giving you a chance to turn around, in addition to making footsteps even while invisible, warning you that they're nearby. Have this sound file burned into your head and make you paranoid. Other important sounds to look for are that of the thermal thruster, rocket and sticky jumps, and other sniper rifle shots. These sounds can play a vital role in locating where your enemy is and allows you to respond and react to the threat before you die.
Congratulations, my son. You've made it. For by grace you have been saved by faith, through the gift of a God. Enter thy holy men. Through sheer perseverance and desire to learn, embrace the avidity of becoming a sniping god. Do not worry, my pupil. This is the greatest gift you shall receive as a sniper.
A special thank you to Clyde Gamer for finding Poopy Joe, who I've hidden extremely well in this video. And another thank you to the Patreons. You know, I realized something kind of funny about this entire thing. I like to consider myself a sniper-based channel, even though I've only done like 3 videos on the thing. And yet, not a single one of the people we've had on this has been a sniper. None of the Patreons are, none of the Poopy Joe Monkey Man have been. Where the bloody hell are all the snipers at, huh? Oh, it's the end of the video.